Hey everyone, it's Monse. In today's video, I am going to be showing you my French studying routine. So I'm going to be showing my French study sessions, some tips and apps that I use, and the materials that I usually use on my daily French routine. So let's just get started. Hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start off with my French study routine. So usually I start off my routine with just listening to some sort of vlog or watching a video with common phrases in French. And I feel like this is super helpful and beneficial, guys, because it gets you into that mindset of listening to the language and just you don't have to completely understand everything, but it helps you to really get new vocab words. It helps your listening comprehension and overall just understand and know how the language sounds like. So for me, this is my number one priority, is just listening to the language every single day, either vlogs or common phrases in the language. So here I'm going to be practicing my verb conjugations, and I do this every other day just to really get them inside my head. And in this clip, I'm actually using a workbook that I got off from Amazon. And there's two ways that I go about doing these types of verb conjugations. The first way is obviously using this workbook and just practicing over and over, just writing all of the conjugations. I first start off with the present tense, and then I move on to the past tense, and then I move on to the future tense, because I feel like the present tense is obviously something that we use every single day, and it helps me really just talk about my day using the present tense. And so that's what I am doing here. I'm just writing the verbs in the present tense. And also, guys, I just wanted to let you know, you don't need a workbook to be able to learn these verb conjugations. There's so many resources online that you could use to learn these, verb conjugations. And that's actually going to be my second option or resource that I use, which is going online and just finding common first group or just common verbs in the tense that you want. And so here I just looked up common ER verbs in French, and so here's this website that I use, and here it's just going to give me the common verbs that they think are obviously common. And so what I do is just I conjugate about 5 to 6 verbs. And so I then use a notebook in which I write all of my conjugations for example, here I have the present tense, and I just put all my conjugations here. I just practice and practice, because that's honestly just how you can memorize them. And so and here I am just going to be using the website and writing out all of the French conjugations for the first group. And for this conjugation session, I guess I'm going to be focusing on the past tense, because I have been doing the present tense for a while, and so now I feel pretty confident, and so I'm doing the past tense. Also, guys, I just wanted to quickly put out there that I usually write my conjugations. I pick 5 to 6 verbs to conjugate, and then after I write sentences using those conjugations or those verbs in their conjugated form. And I just write sentences, they don't have to be big or long sentences, very complex. No, I just write simple sentences using those conjugations, because they don't have to be perfect. You just have to kind of get into that mindset of writing in sentences and using those conjugated verbs, and putting them into sentences. And in a few seconds, you're going to see how I am just writing sentences and using those French verbs. first thing that I do is I focus on vocab, because guys, vocab, if you don't know vocab, you almost don't know anything of the language. Vocab is like 70% of the language. You need to know vocab in order to really create sentences, apart from, the grammar. But knowing vocab, guys, is so crucial to really like understanding and speaking the language. So I always take at least 5 to 10 minutes to just at least review my vocab, and each single week I use Quizlet and I add 5 to 10 new words, and I focus on those words for the entire week, and then I have them memorized, because it's just repetition that really helps you. And I even use these words now because they're words that I use on my everyday basis. And yes, and the app that I use, like I said, is Quizlet, and a lot of people use the app Anki or Anki. I'm not really sure what it's called, but for me personally, I love Quizlet for vocab. So now moving on to Duolingo, there is a lot of, and I wouldn't say controversy, but a lot of people have been saying that Duolingo doesn't really help with language learning and it's kind of a waste of time. I personally think, it's just my opinion, but I do think it's really, really helpful just for review and just to like get new vocab words into your, I guess, studying routine. I don't just use Duolingo for learning French. I use Duolingo just to kind of go over what I have learned and to just review everything, learn new verbs, and actually the grammar structure, it's pretty on point. And yeah, I really like Duolingo just to review everything. So that's usually everything I do for a day, guys. However, keep in mind, I don't do the same thing every single day. I switch up my routine depending on what I feel I need to work on the most. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. However, before I go, I do want to give you guys just some quick tips that you can put into your every single day routine. So my first tip, as you saw from one of my first clips, is listening. Listening to the language every single day is so important to really getting to know the language. Second tip is speaking. Speaking even though you have no idea what you're saying. I know you're probably going to be like, what is she talking about? Guys, when I just started saying like words in French, even though I had no clue, no idea what I was saying, I improved so much, because you're just literally speaking, you're pronouncing, you're moving your mouth to speak how the people talk, and that's the main goal, to just speak the language. So try it. My third and final tip, guys, is to just be patient. I know this is the most annoyingest thing that anyone can say when someone is learning a language, but truly be patient. It took me a while to really understand, I wanted to just speak French in like 1 month. That's not realistically possible. You need to be consistent every single day. Practice and practice and practice. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you at least found one tip helpful, I am so happy, because language learning is something you should enjoy and something that should be fun to do. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching this video, and see you next time, guys. Bye.